Well, our kids, there's amazing things happening with our youth group. And I want to call Pastor Graham up, and we're going to they've just gotten back from a Denver trip where they ministered, and we didn't lose a one. And we were worried for a while.
Yeah, if I could have our whole team come up, join me up here. And then we can, let's roll that video right away, too.
There's a grace when the heart is under fire. Another way when the walls are closing in. And when I look at the space between where I used to be and this reckoning, I know I will never be alone. There was another in the fire standing next to me. There was another in the waters holding back the seas. And should I ever need reminding of how I've been set free, there is a cross that bears the burden where another died for me. All my debt left for dead beneath the waters. I'm no longer a slave to my sin anymore. Whoa. And should I fall in the space between where I used to be and this reckoning, either way I will bow to the things of this world.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank all the parents and grandparents for sending your kids with me and trusting me for the week. We had an awesome time we worked with what's called the Denver Dream Center, and they do a lot of different things in their community. They go to several different neighborhoods every single week, and some of the neighborhoods actually all of them are low-income housing, so the threshold is $8,000 to $10,000 a year that the people in these neighborhoods are making. And we would go and minister to them. We would have different events throughout the week. We would go door to door, and we'd have these things called hope boxes filled with rice, all sorts of different goods in there, Gatorade, other snacks, and toiletry items. And then we'd just see if they wanted prayer for anything like that. And it was really cool, and our team did such an amazing job. They have something called street teams, which is a big part of what we did. Denver has a massive homeless population where you drive around in downtown Denver, and there are just, the streets are just full of garbage and tents and all types of people just laying around. And one of their things they do is they go out and they minister to the homeless. One of the things I don't think we saw in the video is we had a little pop-up store, they call it. They bring these clothing racks out on the street, and they let the homeless go, and they kind of shop and pick through the clothes, and we got to talk with them, give them water. And that was really challenging for me, even to go out there and go on the streets, and you're talking with these people, and you're like, man, they live a completely different life than I do. That the challenges that they have faced throughout their life compared to the challenges I have on a regular basis, it was hard for me at first to jump in and like, man, how do I expect my students to go in there and to be a part of it? And they did a great job, but there's so much more we did. I'm gonna have a few of our members of our team share. We're gonna start with who do I want to pick to start? We're gonna start with Elise.
So a majority of the time, as he said, we were working with the homeless, and it was like a big realization moment to realize, all of the things that they must have gone through to lead them to live that type of life. And my heart just kind of broke for all of them and the situations that they had, living in tents with like one change of clothes, not much to do, and they were, doing drugs, and it was just really sad to see that they didn't know God and they didn't have the same opportunities as I did. So I also realized that I had been judging people through a worldly perspective, and as the time went on in the trip, I was able to just love them and see them how God does as an equal and as just a human being, and to love them the same way. And it was really important for us to plant seeds, even if we don't get to see the growth. The Dream Center does, because it's not just a one-time thing where we just go out and, do our good deed and leave. No, they work with these people for years and years and years, and they get to see them grow in the Lord, and they get to have a completely life-changing connections with the Dream Center. So it was just really cool to be a part of that, and inspiring to be able to have that mindset to bring back here. So.
Well, I went on the trip kind of knowing what we were doing, but not really knowing what we were doing. So the first day we just went and served and helped move some things around in their warehouse there, which was fun. That's kind of what I was like, we're probably going to do a lot of lifting and help out. And then the second day when we went on street team, I kind of knew we're going to go and help these homeless people, give them clothes, give them water, give them food. But once we got out in it, it was really eye-opening, because you go out there and you see it all, and you're in the middle of it, and it changes you and what you think about these people, because I think sometimes as Christians we think about these people, we're like, oh man, they could get out of it. Why would they want to live like that? So I just had to think to myself and realize that these are all people. They're all created in God's image, and we need to love them all the same as we were to love each other. So that really helped me going back out the next day and just serving and helping and talking with people, because these people are really broken. They're really hurting. And once you get to just know them and know their story and know where they came from, then you can really understand how they got there and how you can help them out more. And then you can help, and then they can get connected with the Dream Center, and then they can get help they need or get out of the place that they're in. So I think now I'm back, I want to go out now and just help and serve people and show God's love, and we can change the world, I guess. and so, yeah.
Yeah, this was a very eye-opening trip, like the students shared. And for me, going into these situations, it can be very difficult because you just see devastation everywhere. Like they shared, it's difficult to walk through the homeless communities, see the way they're living, see the addiction. It's difficult to work with at-risk youth and hear that most of them don't have two parents at home. They struggle to make it by with basic, they struggle to provide for themselves basic necessities to us, And for me, I go in and sometimes I just feel so hopeless. I'm like, God, what do we do? There's brokenness everywhere, devastation everywhere. But this trip was different. I was so encouraged from a leadership standpoint to see what the Dream Center is doing. They're just providing hope to so many of these communities, and it was just a testament to their faithfulness in loving these people and serving these people. It's not easy to be there every week with these people. There's difficult situations going on, a lot of dangerous situations, but they commit to these people and they love them. They have relationships. Like some of the students were sharing, these are years and years and years of relationships being built, and they're offering so much hope to people that have no hope. And a lot of the leadership there, a lot of the people running the Dream Center, they come from those hopeless situations, and God has completely redeemed them, completely restored them. He's given them a new life and a mission to reach people in those same situations. So I was so encouraged by their faithfulness. to the community. It challenged me, God, how can we love people and serve people right where they're at, in their brokenness, in the tough situations. And, if we can be consistent in that for, over time and just be like, Lord, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to be faithful to love people no matter how difficult it is. God is faithful to meet us in that and change their life. And so we were talking as a group, God, how can we love our community better? How can we serve our community better? And that was such a challenge and a takeaway as we're coming back.
Awesome. One of the big things that they do is they help people who are coming out of incarceration. A number of the people who are on staff at the Dream Center were incarcerated for 15, 20, 30 years. And they come alongside these people and they help them because when they get out of prison after 20 years, the world is a different place than it was 20 years ago, than it was 30 years ago. One of the guys who drove us around one day, he was in prison for 35 years. And for him, it was a culture shock once he got out of prison because the world operates differently than it did 35 years ago, right? One of the things that we were just so impressed by was the steady consistency of the Dream Center. The people that we were ministering to, it wasn't just random strangers. It was to us, but to them, those were their friends. Those were their people. That was their family that they've been ministering to for years. There was one night we had a youth night, and a number of the people, they've known them for 10 years since they're just a little kid. These aren't just random people like, hey, you want to come to the Dream Center and we're going to play some basketball and hang. No, these are people, they've built relationships over time. And for a lot of these kids, the Dream Center is just a place where they can get off the streets, a place where they can feel safe, where they're not in danger. Their consistency was really challenging, where for a lot of times it takes years and years and years to see that fruit begin to develop. And one of the big takeaways I took is when we were on the street teams and just all throughout the city of Denver, we really got to see the true and utter destruction of sin. The way that sin has the ability to just cripple an entire group of people it's saddening, because you walk around like, man, we know the answer to this problem, and how can we push them towards that solution? And that was really, really challenging, eye-opening for us just to see the complete devastation that sin can bring on a life. But again, I want to thank you all for trusting me with your kids. We had a great time seeing God move. And I saw this team grow so much throughout the trip. They did an awesome job of just stepping up to the plate, doing things. I told them that, you guys, you're going to do things that are going to push you. You're going to be out of your comfort zone. And so parents, you should be proud. They did an amazing job. So let's give them a round of applause.